This is the Above the Corner podcast.
Come on!
Good evening, citizens of Earth.
Let's get it.
Citizens of Earth, Origin, or any other planet in the solar system.
Chef Ron and Tay come together to bring you real-life experiences. That's right. We touch on everything from life itself, entrepreneurship, family, business, finance, and so much more. We going above it all, baby.
Another job well done.
All right, fellas, let's get to it.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Chef Ron the Great, a.k.a. the Corner Store Chef.
Yo, it's your boy Tay, a.k.a. Above the Ashes. Y'all know what I go by now.
Yes, sir. And we are back with yet another edition of Above the Corner podcast. Been a minute, but as you can see, we upgrading, baby. We elevating, you know what I mean? We got our very own podcast studio. You know what I mean? That was one of the main reasons that we fell back for a little bit. Some other reasons as well. We're going to jump into that today. We're still working on the audio. By the time y'all see next video, audio going to be 100%. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, other than that, I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be here with y'all and for y'all. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, I think we should jump straight into, what happened during the week. I'll go first, because my week was amazing. My week was actually very good. I traveled up to Massachusetts. Originally, it was just to see my kids, make sure everything was good up there, go spend some time with them. Ended up being, not a business venture, but I made business up there and, made some connects with a local artist up there. He's definitely about to pop. Like, there's no question. His music is just that good. And then I hung out with the owner of Cane's Donuts. Y'all can look them up on Facebook or, Google anything. They're like one of the top, donut chains in Massachusetts.
Right.
So the owner, he let me in the bag and he let me record and stuff like that. He showed me how he was making one of the donuts. It was like made out of egg or something. But like, man, it was just a crazy experience up there. I felt like I felt at home. And every time I go up to Massachusetts, I always come back and I only can stay for like 3 days at a time because the vibes up there are like kind of off. But I feel like this trip really redefined what I think of Massachusetts. What about you, bro? How was your week?
Yeah, this week, I just getting focused, you know what I mean? Elevating, as you can see, like I said before, it's all about, I'm focused on not staying stuck where I was at, you know what I mean? So I had to revamp, re-strategize a few things, you feel me? Like, I pulled back from cooking a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm only cooking like twice a week now, one day a week maybe. You know what I mean? But it's crazy because I made that decision to pull back and it's flowing in even more.
Exactly.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Sir.
So I spoke about that earlier this week, exclusivity over availability. So like I said in the Daily Tabbing earlier in the week, when the pandemic first hit, I was only cooking 2 days a week.
Right.
But I was killing them 2 days alone. I was crushing it. So I'm like, man, it's the pandemic. People getting that extra $600 a week.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, let me turn it up.
Capitalize on that.
Let's go from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5.
Kept going.
You know what I mean? And all that bread started running out. And that bread stopped coming in after a while, but I'm still cooking 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And the numbers ain't looking the same. You know what I mean? I'm still doing, I'm everything is still flowing, everything. My bills are paid, I'm living good, everything's good. It's just not like it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I started stretching myself kind of thin or whatever, and I'm like, I just came to the realization, I'm like, yo, I think I'm in their face too much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm too available.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? If you're too available, nobody wants what they can get all the time. You know what I mean? I feel like I was giving people a complex to the point where they say menu and they be like, oh, I'll get him next time. Oh, I'll get him next time.
Exactly, yep.
He gonna cook tomorrow anyway.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So
that's that mindset, yep.
So being that I pulled back, I made it more exclusive. Business is booming once again. I mean, never fell off, but it just wasn't that first of the pandemic hit.
Exactly.
Like, business is booming. You know what I mean? We doing good, eating good, living good. You know what I mean? We just, like I said, it's all about the elevation, man. Never stay stuck where you at. Yeah.
Never, ever. So what are we talking about this week?
I think we gotta jump straight into it.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? It's definitely it was originally one of the premises of the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's probably one of the subjects we haven't yet touched on.
Right.
And we gotta jump into this mental health thing.
100%.
We gotta jump into this mental. I didn't even realize you had the hat on.
Come on, man. Y'all see that? Mental health. This is about to be the biggest topic ever. Y'all been waiting to talk.
So this is gonna be the introduction to a series. I already got a few guests lined up that want to come on the show and speak specifically about mental health, but I feel like it's only right that me and my second host, my brother Tay, that we open up the we open up the floodgates, we open up the doors for y'all to be able to, this is a safe place for y'all to come speak your mind and to come, explain your struggles or your achievements that you've had with mental health. So if you want to, you feel like you got a good story to tell, you feel like you don't have an outlet, you feel like you want to tell it, hit us up, we'll bring you on. We'll set something up. But I want to touch on mental health because so one of the main reasons outside of, us upgrading and all, we was going for a couple of weeks, and it seemed like we was passing the ball back and forth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I might be going through something and it's time to record. I'm not putting that bad energy out there. It's not going to happen. I'd rather not record a podcast than get fake energy and fake vibes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, when I'm up for it and then it's time to record, it seemed like now you got the ball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yep. And that went back and forth for like a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but, we have an obligation. We do got to, at the end of the day, we got to speak to the people. We got to come to the people. You know what I mean? So I just want to touch on, mental health, period. Like, what do you do when you get in those funks? What do you do that might sink you into a funk even deeper? Mm-hmm. What do you do to help you get out of your funk? Mm-hmm. And, how do you deal with mental health, period?
All right. So, for me personally, first of all, mental health is different for everybody across the board, like how you handle it, how you cope, et cetera, et cetera. For me, mental health is like, it's so big to me because it's literally everything. It's every action you take. You know what I'm saying? Everything that has to do with mental health is going to affect your life. So what I do to cope, usually I'll think about my kids or I'll go for a drive. I'm a big car enthusiast. I love cars. I'll go out, take some pictures. I'll drink some tea. I got tea right here. Anything that's like a passion for me, I'll try to get into it, and I'll talk more about that on the next episode because like it gets deeper. But anything that's a passion will help your mental health. You know what I'm saying? And being as though we have to make money, to survive, it kind of starts offsetting when passion versus profit. Remember we talked about that on the episode. So it's like that in itself. Once you lose your passion, your mental health starts declining because you can't do what keeps you up all the time. What makes me worse is the fact that when I can't do what I need to do at that moment, say if like I'm working on a project or a video or something, and it could be something so small that'll make me upset and make me lose focus. Like say somebody come in the room and they're like, hey, can you do this for me? I will literally forget almost everything that I was doing just because I was so focused. And I'm trying to find a balance between not focusing too much. Because when you're locked in, you're like, and that's good to a certain extent. But like for somebody like me, I'll be upfront. I have bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression, PTSD. I got a lot of stuff going on up there. So it's like for somebody like me, I would never want somebody to work on my time, but I need to be able to work on my own time without outside influences. So it's like when somebody gets me off track, it's easy for me to like lose that focus. But I always bring myself back some way, or sometimes time itself will literally just be that healer, and I'll just let it roll over.
Right.
But yeah, what about you, man?
So, how I deal with mental health, all of the things that you said, pretty much for the most part, like, I try to work through it through the most part. If I'm in a funk, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I'm creating something new, I'm working on something big, you know what I mean? That'll get me through my funk. But sometimes, the processes that I take to get out of a funk is kind of like a drug or a high. Yeah. Especially if you're in a deep funk, because, I could be creating, I could do a crazy Instagram reel, you know what I mean? It might only be 30 seconds or 15 seconds to y'all, but for me as a chef, that's me preparing a whole meal. Facts. That might take an hour, 2 hours, but you're only getting that little 30 second, you know what I mean? And it's fire, throw it out, 35 views in 10 minutes, 3,500 views in 10 minutes or something. Mm-hmm. You hype off of that, but then you done fell into a funk so bad. Once that wear off for real, you right back there.
Right back, right. Yeah.
Like, it happens, that's why I say it's like a drug. It's like a high. Like, yes. You know what I mean? You get up for a little bit, then once you ain't get no more likes on the post or whatever you did, once you went to the gym, once them endorphins wear off and that adrenaline stopped rushing, or you went for a run, or you went to the club, whatever you had to do, once that's all said and done and over with, you still dealing with what you was dealing with. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yes, sir. I try to stay away, now that I know that, I try to stay away from the highs of getting out of a funk or depression, whatever you would like to call it. So I try to focus on, I try to take repeated habits, baby steps of the same thing over and over and over again, and definitely work towards what the problem is.
Facts.
Definitely work towards what the problem is and try to solve the problem. But if it's something, I spoke about this before. It might not be defined or anything, but you can't tell me there's no such thing as entrepreneurial depression. Like, it's heavy. You know what I mean? It's heavy.
I feel it.
It hits you like a rock in your head.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, everything could be going right. Like I said, all my bills could be paid. I could be having something in the savings. Family life could be good. But at the same time, it's like, it's so much weight on our shoulders. Sometimes it just gets too heavy. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to hold you. Like, you might just get everything in life could be going good, and you just get depressed out of nowhere.
Yes.
And it's probably because you're probably stretching yourself too thin. You're probably doing too much.
Too many expectations.
You got to service too many people. You look up, you're doing all this for everybody in the city, and then you look up when you need somebody, you don't even have nobody you could talk to. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what's crazy, especially if you the strong friend or you the strong one out of the bunch. You might feel as though, your friends or your peers or your family may want to listen to you, but you might feel like you so strong, you don't even want nobody to see you that vulnerable.
Exactly, yep.
So you just holding it in. And it's just, you hold on to a hot coal, it's only burning the inside of your hand. It's not hurting nobody else.
Yeah.
But, I try to, I try to exercise. I feel like exercise is top.
100%. 100%. He taught me that too. He got me up one day. I swear to God, I lied to you not. He got me up one day. I told him I was very depressed. He said, get your sweat equity. Sweat equity. Ever since that day, I've been losing weight. It's literally a thing. Like, that literally helps you. That workout, because the physical. Now you're pushing the physical and you're pushing your body like, yo, I need to get out of this mind state. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you start your day off with a workout.
Yes, sir.
There's no way
you ready.
There's no way you can lose that day.
No way.
But I feel like exercise is top 3. Time to yourself is definitely top 3. And, I'm always saying, man, put God first, man. You know what I mean? God, exercise, and time to yourself. I feel like, I'm not saying it's going to happen instantly. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but
there you go.
Ain't no way. If you got them 3 in your top 3 of your lineup, there's no way. I'm not excluding family or anything. I'm saying at this point, we're worried about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're trying to get you out of a funk, because if you in the funk, you ain't no good to your family. Fact. So that's the only reason family is not in the top 3 of getting yourself out of a funk.
Right. And I know recently I've been telling a lot of people this. So when you're down and when you're depressed or you got anxiety or something, literally you have to channel it to where you can separate that from your regular mood. What I'm trying to say by that is like, say if I'm doing something positive and then something negative comes over me. Say if like my bank account goes into negative one day and now I'm mad about it.
That can really piss you off,
bro. 100%. That will make you mad. But it causes a chain reaction, because you see your bank account. Next thing you know, you got something else falling, all because you saw your bank account in the negative.
Right.
So like when you see that bank account in the negative, you got to keep yourself up, because whether you're up or down, your bank account is still in the negative. You feel me? Like, go fix it. Be patient. Patience is everything, yo. And the way, when you have patience, the way I've been finding patience, I've just been kind of like doing more stuff for myself. So when you actually have that patience, like, stuff can happen, and it's like you literally just grow that, like, stuff happens. Like, you grow that mindset to the point it's like, all right, well, this happened, and I acknowledge that it happened, but I'm going to fix it. Get that into your mind, just fix everything. And it's the easiest way to live life. Obviously, life is not easy by any means, but the more I live life, the more things that I, like, expose to myself to where I'm like, all right, this will make my life easier. So,
Right. Yeah, and, talk to somebody, man.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody. Go see a doctor. Talk to your wife. Talk to your husband. Don't sit on that. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be one of them people, I'll be like, I don't understand how people is depressed, or what is that, or how does that even happen? That's never happened to me. But looking back on my childhood and my teenage years and my early adult years, I was depressed.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what it was.
There wasn't no label on it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, me and everybody I was around, all my friends and everything, we was doing drugs and we was drinking.
Yeah.
Every single
coping
day.
mechanism. They didn't even know the word coping mechanisms for real,
I didn't realize this literally until this year. I'm looking back on my life like, yo, You think you having fun. You think you chilling with the homies and everything. Y'all getting lit. Y'all turning up every day. Y'all getting high and drunk every single day.
Facts.
You're hiding something.
Yes.
Let's be honest, yo.
Yes.
There's no reason to get high and drunk every single day just because.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's just no way. Because half of the time getting too drunk is not even enjoyable.
100%.
When you wake up the next day.
Yes.
But you're doing it every single day.
Just for that little moment.
You're masking depression. And now I'm looking back on it and I'm like, damn, yo, because I was bad at some point. You understand? So I'm looking back like, yo, I really was out of it and didn't even know what was going on.
Facts.
But if I had talked to somebody, if I would have went to see a therapist, if I would have, you know, talked to my mother, my stepfather, anybody,
literally,
maybe it wouldn't. You know what I mean? Maybe I wouldn't have turned out the way I did. I kept everything bottled up. I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Facts, because that power of understanding and acknowledgement it goes so far beyond just thank you for doing this for me. You actually talk to somebody and they understand. That literally makes you feel like you can just empty everything out. If they say literally somebody just saying they understand will help you so much with your mental. Because say if like you don't even know the person, but you talking to them, and then now y'all can relate on something. Say you went through something, they went through it too, but they went through it differently. Now they're like y'all coping mechanisms. Y'all can line them up and be like, well, if this works for you, you could try this, or just explore different options. And now you're connecting with that person because two is better than one. Because really, when you're depressed, you don't really know yourself.
Right.
It kind of just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes out of nowhere. You might know where it came from, but you don't know why it's happening in that exact moment. It could be like you could be super happy, and then like you said, it just comes out of nowhere. And that in itself is like, it's an annoying feeling. And it's like, it weighs down on your heart itself because it's like, I want to be good, but I can't. Right. And it's like, it feels like you ever in the gym and you try and get that last rep and you're like, oh, here we go. It's coming down. You trying to push it up, but you just can't.
Right.
And that's how it feels. That's mental health. That's how your brain literally feels. It feels like an anchor. It's just weighing down on you.
Yeah.
So you gotta get that.
We gave them steps on, or suggestions on how to get past the mental depression, the disorders and things of that nature. But real quick, I want to touch on the people that can't control their moods. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there that they just wake up depressed. Depressed, can't get out the bed, can't go to work. They mood is done. They arguing with everybody. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know whether they coming or going. And I want to speak to those people. It's okay, for one.
Yep.
We're going to tell you that. But y'all really got to speak to somebody. You got to go see the doctor. You got to go see a therapist. I know a lot of people was like, I'm against medicine or whatever. Man, listen, do whatever you got to do. You understand what I'm saying? If the doctor say, you got this mental disorder and you need to take this medicine, or maybe try this, or they prescribe you a marijuana card or something, please go get the help that you need, because I feel like y'all are a different class of people. Like, there's nothing that you can do for yourself. You understand? And it's nothing you can do about it because you don't even know what's going on.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So it's best that you go see a professional and you go get help.
Yeah. And you have to connect with somebody on that spiritual kind of like psychological level, because I was just talking to somebody about this a couple weeks ago. Your brain and your mind are two different things. The mind is more spiritual, mental. Your brain is the physical. That's what's, you can see your brain. You can't see your mind. Nobody else around you can see your mind. Nobody else can see what you're thinking. That's when you start communicating and voicing out to people, yo, this is what's going on. Because nobody is out here psychic and reading your mind like, oh, okay, he's depressed because of this. He's depressed because of this. Even if they know you're depressed because of that, they don't know. They don't feel that. They are not feeling what you're feeling. Only you can feel that, and only you can voice that. So make sure you take control of those thoughts in your mind and voice them to somebody that actually you can literally trust and understand. Like, really look at the people in your circle and be like, start there. Like, in the military, we had a chain of command. Start with your friends, because your friends, they're going through some of the same stuff you're going through. I guarantee it. So somebody in your circle is going through what you're going through. I 100% guarantee it. So, just voice it, yo. Get out there and get that help no matter what. I'm telling you, because it just feels, it's a load off. It just feels great. So,
yeah. So, other than that, man, like I said, you're not alone. This is a safe place. If anybody would like to come onto the show, contact either me or Tay. We'll set something up. We'll get you in the time slot. Get you in this nice, crispy studio. You understand what I'm saying? And we'll get you on the show. Now, you can tell your story. And just express yourself. Get some of that. Take some of that load off.
Facts. Judgment-free zone too, bro.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
we all got problems, and me and him know that. We know we all got problems, and that's why we're here to talk to y'all and bring y'all on the show so y'all can voice that without being judged.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Let's take a commercial break real quick.
Yes, sir.
This episode of Above the Corner podcast is brought to you by the Corner Store Chef. We are one of Virginia's premier catering and private chef services. We provide anything and everything from catering all the way to coming to your home. So let's cut that whole shit out.
All right.
We're going to do it next week.
That's all good. That's all good.
I can't get it. I had it last week.
Practice, man.
Yeah, we're going to do it next week.
Yeah.
He'll cut all this out.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, you got any shout-outs?
I think my first shout out, first of all, would have to be Phil, my boy Phil up in Massachusetts. He goes by Fill My Cup on Instagram. Bro is a great musician. He's a great artist. He does literally he sits in his own studio in the basement of his crib and does everything himself. I was able to go down there. I saw everything, took pictures and stuff like that. And the he's a really humble dude. He knows he's great. He's a great dude. I met him in barber school. If y'all didn't know, I went to barber school like a couple years ago, dropped out because it wasn't for me. So the GI Bill paid for it, whatever. But, it's crazy how you make different connects out of your lifetime. Now, years later, now we're, starting to work with each other and wanting to take pictures together and stuff like that. And the boy's growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my boy. So, shout out to you, yo. Keep doing your thing.
Word.
So, what about you? What's your shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs. Of course, you got to put God first. You know what I mean? Shout out to my wife and all my children. Shout out, major shout out to Yad and Bree. They was on last week's episode. That was the longest episode we got yet.
Word?
Yeah, James was like 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Dropped plenty of gems. Know what I mean? Shout out to them brothers. Shout out to everybody, man. If you watching this, like I said, if you got any issues you want to bring to the forefront, you want to talk to the people about, we're going to bring you on the show, man. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody watching this. We truly appreciate y'all. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that, man. We truly appreciate y'all, and we thank y'all for your support and y'all patience. Listen, man, this is Above the Corner podcast.
Above the Corner
episode,
podcast.
Whatever episode number this is.
Something like
that. But it's a wrap. See y'all next
we
week.
out here. Peace out.